Hello, 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 basses. A very, very good evening to all of you. Welcome to our Choir of the Earth rehearsal. This is the first of the bass rehearsals for this masterful piece, The Armed Man by Sir Carl Jenkins. And what a piece it is, isn't it, folks? Those of you that have been with me this week, obviously we had a couple of days out of the schedule for my trip to London, but hearing those movements through on Monday, I don't know about you, my goodness me, those are catchy melodies, aren't they? And not just L'Homme Armé, which, of course, is a very, very well-known and very catchy tune, but that Kyrie just wraps itself around your brain. This is a very, very dangerous piece for those of you that like to sleep through the night without being haunted by earworms. So I'm so looking forward to teaching you this piece this evening, basses. And thank you to everyone for your lovely messages. Anna and I had a glorious trip to London. No, I didn't win the award, but it was wonderful to be a finalist. We got to go to a glitzy award ceremony in London. Mylene Class was giving out the awards, and although I didn't get an award, she said my name. So there we are. And got to see lots of dear friends and meet lots of lovely people and drink quite a lot of wine. So yes, there we are. Thursday morning, Anna and I set out for a jaunt around London. The weather was perfect, absolutely perfect. Walking through Mayfair with the blossom coming out on the trees, and we went all the way. We did a huge loop. We walked to the British Museum, we went down to the embankment, walked along the Thames, went to Parliament Square, waved at the Abbey, and then went and sat in St James's Park by the Serpentine for an hour, just watching the world go by. Just had a wonderful day. So thank you to everyone for all of your lovely messages and all of the lovely support. It was a great trip. And we are home, and of course tonight after this broadcast I shall be taking all of the Around Sounders through my next lecture on Mozart, and it's a good one, folks. It's a really good one. Those of you that are fans of Dear Wolfie, well, you're going to learn, I think, some really exciting stuff this evening. And of course tomorrow I shall be, very unusually on a Saturday, I shall be teaching the altos and tenors their parts for this Armed Man masterpiece, and then we shall be all up to date. So there we are, everyone. Lovely to see you all. So let's have a look. I haven't done my sound checks yet, but I'm going to say hello to everyone. So hello to Dave. Hope Jill's very well. Hello, Andrew. Hope you're feeling a bit better. Hello, dear Nikki. And thank you very much indeed for offering to be the classroom assistant despite not being very well at all. So do take it easy. All right, rest your fingers, sip your tea, and enjoy the session. And tell that husband of yours, okay, it doesn't matter whether he respects my authority or not, to be nice to you. Okay, it should happen from time to time. Hello, dear Emma. Congratulations, everyone. Emma, I hope you don't mind me telling everyone, Emma, because I'm going to. Emma has passed her theory exam, so congratulations, Emma. Well done to you. Goes to show the power of online learning, as she has very kindly attributed much of her success to having come along to the Singers Toolkit and the deep dives on home choir. So, well, I'll very gladly take your thanks, Emma, but many congratulations to you, because that's a huge achievement, and I'm really proud of you. Well done. Who else is here? Hello, Wendy. Good evening to you. And let's just see. Clunk. Oh, was that the name drop? Yes. Hello, Mike. Let's have some peace. Let's indeed. Hello, Judy. Oh, it's lovely to have you with us. You're very, very welcome. The more the merrier. Hello, Lisa. The alto line is very catchy, isn't it? You're quite right. Hello to Susan. Emma's blushing. Well, you should be proud of yourself. I am really proud of you. I think anyone who starts on that journey of learning music, particularly taking that theory road, which is not as often travelled as the singing and the playing and the having fun with instruments, the theory is so important and is a huge amount of fun. If you like Wordle, if you like Sudoku, if you like crosswords, if you like that sort of using your brain to put symbols in order, well, theory is it's like that. But every time you open a score, it's like trying to decode an amazing piece of Wordle, and you can get to the point where you can open a score and you can read it fluently. It's a great feeling. So well done, everyone. Well done. Now then, I do need to do my sound checks. I could natter all day, as you know, but I need to check. So do we have Mr. Gowers? We do. There we are. Ricardo Gowers. There we are. And Kyrie as well. Or it's a cheery piece, this. Oh, it's fabulous. Okay, I'm just going to make sure, because that's for the full playthrough, but just let me make sure I've got my version here on my laptop. Good, so I can skip ahead and just check where the basses come in, just so we're not waiting for 15 minutes to sing, chaps. Letter D, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, lovely. Oh, we've got to wait for them. There we go. Right, 4 minutes and 19 seconds. That may come in handy for you when you're singing along with these fantastic guide tracks by the Fieri Consort. Chatting is fun, but there are men to DR. Absolutely. That's code for nerdy. Be nice. The geek shall inherit the earth. Those of you that follow Home Choir know my Mobile Madness series, where I've written songs based on mobile phone ringtones. The next piece in the mobile phone ringtone series is going to be called The Geek Shall Inherit the Earth. Nerd alert is part of the chorus. So there we are. No, come all ye that are burdened with music geekery, and we shall all enjoy the fun of music geekery together. This is a safe space for those of you who are geeky and nerdy just like me. There we are. Who else is here? Hello, Christine. Lovely to see you. I do hope all is very, very well. And say hello to Terry for me. And thank you for your lovely messages as well. So now what we're going to do basically is we're actually going to start warming up at this point. So a couple of minutes before the hour, because despite there not being as many notes as Mr. Mozart would have written, for example, we do have some long tracks to sing along with. So let's get warmed up, shall we, a little bit early. We'll start the teaching at 5 o'clock, but can I invite you all, please, to ascend, get to your feet, please, chaps, and ladies, of course. You're all very welcome. And let's start by taking a few deep breaths in and out. Hello to Rob, who's just popped in before church choir practice. Fabulous. Friday evening is the right time for church choir. Takes me back to my days in Romford. Fabulous. Okay, so let's roll our shoulders round, everyone. And let's roll them back the other way. And just in case you're looking for Mark or Mark, no, you won't find either of them here in the chat this evening. One of the Marks is on a train and one of them's on a plane. So there we are. It sounds like a Dr. Seuss, doesn't it? Mark is on a train and Mark is on a plane. Bring them up to your ears. Take a deep breath and breathe out, please. Fabulous. And then just stretch these muscles out. And the other way. And forwards. There we are. Great. Let's take a few deep breaths in and out. Mike has written, couldn't help noticing that some movements, especially Charge, appear to glorify war. Well, Mike, if you have a look at the end of Charge, I think you'll find actually that rather than glorifying war, I think it's genuinely more of a take on the way that people are encouraged to go and fight. Think about Lord Kitchener and Your Country Needs You and all of this patriotic stuff to get people to sign up. And then, of course, the reality is brutal and quite different. The end of Charge is the sound of death on the battlefield. So although there might be nods to the glorification of war, this entire mass, when taken as a whole, is absolutely an anti-war mass. So I just thought I'd pop that in there. Can I go on a boat? Only if you have a goat. Right, let's do a bit of humming, shall we, basses? Actually, we have to be in the minor mode tonight. So hum with me, please, bassos. Nice deep breath. And upper semitone. And an oh. And an air. And an ah. And just a couple of ma basses. Ma ma ma. And ya ya ya. That'll do. That'll more than do. There we are, basses. So I think we should officially get started, and a very warm welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining me on this Friday evening here in Bristol. It is warm and it's sunny, and this, of course, is the weekend. For those of you watching overseas, this is the weekend where we're going to change the clocks. On Saturday night, the clocks change, and so we're going to lose an hour in terms of time in bed, but we will join the rest of the world in summertime. So just watch out next week. Everything will be different. Check your UL, of course. So it is lovely to spend this rehearsal with all of you. And so we're going to start with L'Homme Armé, the armed man, which you'll find bases on page 1 of the score. But you'll notice we don't sing, chaps, until page 3. But this tune is a very, very catchy tune. As I've said, it's a very old tune. It was the most popular tune in Western Europe for about 150 years. So now just notice the dynamics from the beginning here, and these are very carefully what we call terraced, so that as we go through, they're getting slightly louder, as if the army itself is getting closer. And so we sing at a piano dynamic. We sing L'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, l'homme armé doit en douter. Okay, so it's piano dynamic, a slight crescendo, almost as if we're turning up that volume control, but just by 1 notch. Okay, so let's have a go at that together. From the top of 3, 3, 4. L'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, l'homme armé doit en douter. Lovely. And notice I'm not singing that with any real sense of oomph or power or force. It's quite light, almost mezzo voce there, so keep it light at that point. Okay, basses, well done. Now, bottom of page 4, we are singing in fourths with the tune. Okay, which is a very common part in what was early medieval music. They didn't understand at the time. They didn't have a sense of harmony in the way that we do. So often music was harmonized at the 4th or the 5th. So you might get... That's fairly typical. We're singing the 4th away. So our line at C is L'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, l'homme armé doit en douter, doit en douter. Okay, so just listen to those notes again from C. Just listen to them. 1 and. Okay, so let's have a go at that, please. From C. 3, 4. L'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, l'homme armé doit en douter, doit en douter. Very nice. It's all very quiet still, mezzo piano. Okay, I know it's lowered down, so the tendency obviously is for the bass voices to get a little bit thicker, a little bit heavier. Don't let it get much louder at all, though we are going to crescendo shortly. Okay, so we're there on a D. We're going to leap up in bar 36, the bottom of page 5, to that B flat, and listen to this. Okay. Sounds a little bit like the Berlioz, doesn't it? The March of the Scaffold. But anyway. On a fait partout crier que chacun se vienne à mes dans nos brigands de fer. Let's sing that together. Still mezzo piano, so not too loud. Ready? 3, 4. On a fait partout crier que chacun se vienne à mes dans nos brigands de fer. Lovely. Make sure you come off cleanly at the end of de fer. Basically, you sing into the 4th beat and cut that off just as the 4th beat lands. Oh, brigands de fer. Just enough time to grab a breath and then sing L'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, l'homme armé doit en douter. And there you see, we're going to crescendo, and so we're going to have a nice, rich, bassy bottom G. Now let's before we look at that last section, just the main bits. So that takes us to halfway through bar 40. Let's sing from bar 39 top of 6, second bar, into bar 40, and then we'll pause and we'll just look at that last little section, which is a little bit more angular. 3, 4, lo me lo me lo ma me lo ma me lo ma me, and then we sing lo ma me doit on doute. Listen. Okay, let's do that slowly. So in after 3, 2, and 3. Lo ma me doit on doute. And we hold that note, that last note, as a mezzo forte dynamic, another notch up there on the volume control, and we hold it for the full bar. So just listen to those pitches again. Okay, and you might think that sounds tricky, because we're going from an A to an E flat, D, G. But think of it really as the A decorating the G. It's just one note away. The E flat decorates the D. So if you just had G, 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 that would make perfect sense. So we just go up one tone, decorate on the way down, and then land on the G. Let's sing that together. That last lo ma me halfway through bar 40. Ready? After 3, 2, 3. Lo ma me doit on doute. And again. Lo ma me doit on doute. Lovely. And sing all the way through to the end of that note there, please, everyone, because it's a long note. There's no diminuendo. As I say, it's almost as if the army is approaching as we're singing this. All right, brilliant. Well done. What I think we should do, basses, is just to sing that. So let me just drag the army up. So this is page 2 that we're listening to at the moment. Turn back for me. So this is the altos and sopranos. Now it's the bottom of the page. And we're in a bar. Here we go. Very good. Okay, then we get a little bit of trumpets in the organ. There will be this dum 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 digga digga dum 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 digga digga dum 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 dum. Ready? 2, 3, 4. Loma 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 me, loma me, loma me doit on doute, doit on doute. On a fait pas tout crier, que chacun s'en vienne à me, dans l'ombre grand de fer. L'homme, l'homme, l'homme me, l'homme me, l'homme me doit en doute. 2, 3, 4, off. Excellent. Well done, basses. All right, then. So let's have a look at our next entry, which is the top of page 8. How are we doing in the comments? Hello to Barbara, who's sitting at the back. Everyone's welcome. Hello, Angela. Hello, Stephen. Very sunny Middlesbrough. Very sunny here in Bristol here as well. We're blessed at the moment. Well done. Mike's finding the rhythm harder than the pitches. It is tricky. Changing the way that the rhythms put together, because you've got this da 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 da, which we're used to, but then it's inverted sometimes, da 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 da, which gives you a sort of feeling of cross rhythms. Worth practicing and singing along, of course, with Fieri, and you'll get it. And once you've got it, of course, it'll never leave your head, even at 3 in the morning. Now, letter E, everyone. So it's the same rhythm. We've just been talking about that, but we are on a pedal note here, basses. Lom, 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 me. Okay, let's just sing that together from letter E. 3, 4. Lom, 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 me. Fantastic. Then we sing a little bit of the tune. Lom, me. Just that on its own. Sing that for me. And lom, me. Lovely. And then... Now this comes back many, many times, and that awkward leap from the C down to the E flat and the D, and back up to the G. This is going to be a constant companion to our spaces in the coming bars and measures. So let's look at the second bar on page 8 and just follow it along as we sing La ma me, droit en deux te, droit en deux te. Okay, so let's just sing it all together from that second bar. After 1, 4, 1. La ma me, droit en deux te, droit en deux te. Let's do it again, because that second bar on page 8 is really tricky. Let's go from the first bar. Let's go from letter E. 3, 4. L'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, droit en deux te, droit en deux te. Very nice, ladies and gentlemen. Have a quick sip of drink. How are we doing? Good tip there, Mike. Mike is suggesting, if you're finding it tricky with the rhythms, to just write 1, 2, 3, 4 on the main beats. Good advice. If it helps, please consider doing that. Now notice basses, 3 bars after E, we've got a repeat mark. We go back to E and we sing that again. Exactly the same. Okay. Now the last 2 bars on 8, we are on a G. Over the page. Okay, so we've got 2 bars of G with that rhythm. On a fait partout crier que chacun se vienne à me. And then au noble grand effet. Listen. Okay, let's sing that together. The last note, Don Obregon. Ready? 3, 4. Don Obregon effet. Lovely. And then just to the end of the page, l'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, droit en deux te. As I say, that is the same as before, and that is going to come back many times. Why don't we sing from letter E, and we'll ask our wonderful Fieri lead to sing with us. Let's see, whereabouts are we, Richard? Take it away. So it's about 49. I love that chord. So we're now at the bottom of page 7, bar 52. And that G's just being thumped out by the bass. Ready? 3, 4. L'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, droit en deux te, droit en deux te. L'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, droit en deux te, droit en deux te. On a fait partout crier que chacun se vienne à me dans notre grand effet. L'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, droit en deux te. Fabulous. So there we are. And we're crescendoing again, as you'll have noticed, just before letter F, so that we are at a forte dynamic at F, which is quite appropriate. So F at F. Remember that? Excellent. Now, as I said to the sopranos on Tuesday, the wonderful thing about L'Homme Armé is that it works as a canon. Of course, a canon obviously has double meaning in this particular mass. Not just a big gun that goes boom, but canon with one N is where you have a tune that comes in, and then it comes in again, played by a different instrument or a different voice part, but at the same pitch, and then again and again. Think of it like an extended round. Of course, we all know the very famous canon by Pachelbel. So this is a particularly exciting moment. It's fortissimo. It's very loud indeed. It's almost the loudest we sing in the entire movement. And the sopranos come in first, the altos come in, the tenors come in, and we sing a slightly truncated version. So we sing fortissimo from the second bar of 11. L'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, l'homme armé doit en lutter. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 8, off. Okay, and it looks relatively simple. I suppose melodically it is, but to hold that last note at a forte dynamic means you've got to eke the air out. Okay, don't get rid of all the air by singing too loudly. Hold a little bit in reserve and grab a big breath at each of those quaver rests at 77. La ma me, la ma me. Don't sip, gulp. All right, so let's sing that together. From the second bar of 11, take a huge breath. Ready, 3, 4. La me, la me, la ma me, la ma me, la ma me, doit en douter. Great, well done. Thank you, bassos. Now, letter G to the end is pretty much all stuff that we've sung before, with the ending just slightly different, but let's have a look at it. So G, it's forte dynamic. La me, la me, la ma me, la ma me, la ma me, doit en douter, which then repeats. Okay, we've sung that before, but it's forte this time. So we sing that bit twice. On to page 13. On a fait partout crier que chacun se vienne mais dans l'ombre qu'on défait. Again, we've sung that before. Same words, same music. And this is all forte. Okay, so it has to be really quite, I don't want to say forceful, although forte does mean with force. It's just got to be really powerful. Okay, bearing in mind, as we've discussed already, think of this as a very theatrical mass. It's got all sorts of aspects of war in it, including the glorification of war, including this, which is the warning: the armed man must be feared. But of course, by the end, we've all been on a journey, and we have come to an understanding. So this is the opening of the mass. So it has to have lots and lots of oomph. The last bar of 13, l'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé. 14, l'homme armé, doit en douter. Okay, so that is a familiar figure to us. And now on the last 4 bars, and all Sir Carl does at this point is to take figures that we already know, but it's sort of as if it's sort of cracking and breaking up a little bit. So we get l'homme armé, doit, l'homme armé. L'homme doit, l'homme doit en douter. So we basically get the same thing 3 times, and at the end, ba ba ba, with daylight in between those notes. So let's sing from the top of 14, from the 3rd bar, that 12/8 bar. Okay, with a crescendo. So we're going to end up really very loud. Triple F, forte fortissimo, very loud indeed. So let's sing together. 3, 4, 1. L'homme me doit, l'homme me doit, l'homme me doit en douter. That's it. En douter. Excellent. Let's just do that last one together. Bar 94. Ready? Last 2 bars. 3, 4, 1. L'homme me doit en douter. Bum, bum, bum at the end. Fantastic. So why don't we sing the whole movement bases? We're going to go back to the beginning. Now, because time is short, I'd love to do the whole thing from the start, but I think I'm going to jump partway in. Apologies to the sops and altos, who I know sing beautifully in this movement, but we've got lots to do still with the Kyrie. So we're going to jump partway in, and we'll join in with them at the top of page 3. So let's see where we are at this point. So this is 2 bars in. Deep breath. Top of 3, piano. L'homme armé, doit en douter. 3, 4. Dum. Ready, 2, 3, 4. L'homme armé doit en douter,
attendez, on a fait partout crier, que chacun se vienne armer d'un nombre grand de fer. L'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé doit en douter.
2, 3, 4. Letter D. Bar 49. Here comes that chord. Bam. 2, 3, 4. Bar 52. So start to take a long, slow breath. In after 4, 2, 3, 4.
L'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, l'homme armé doit en douter, doit en
Back to
douter.
E.
L'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, l'homme armé doit en douter, doit en douter. On a fait partout crier, que chacun se vienne armer d'un nombre grand de fer. L'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, l'homme armé doit en douter.
Off. Bar 70. So here come the sopranos, altos, and the tenors. Deep breath. 3, 4.
L'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, l'homme armé doit en douter.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Off. Fantastic. Deep breath. Forte dynamic.
L'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, l'homme armé doit en douter, doit
Back
en
to G.
douter. L'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, l'homme armé doit en douter, doit en douter. On a fait partout crier, que chacun se vienne armer d'un nombre grand de fer. L'homme, l'homme, l'homme armé, l'homme armé, l'homme armé doit en douter.
1.
L'homme armé, l'homme armé doit, l'homme armé, l'homme armé doit, l'homme armé, l'homme armé doit en douter.
There we go. Fabulous. Isn't that a wonderful recording? It really is. I've been saying to Mark, wherever they are on their train or on their plane, that, you know, Fieri really are amazing at this, and we should put this out as a recording on its own. But just imagine, with all of your voices, the hundreds and hundreds of people on this course combined, particularly at that moment where it goes a cappella. Ooh, so powerful. So beautiful. Okay, well done, everyone. Now then, let's skip ahead. So movement 3. Second movement is being recorded by a specialist. We don't have to sing that one. Choir and orchestra tacit. Okay, so we don't sing that. We do, however, sing the Kyrie eleison, which starts on page 16, but we don't come in basses until the bottom of page 18. Now, our version differs from that of Sir Carl. If you listen to the official recording which he conducted, he actually takes this movement a fair bit faster than marked. It's marked actually 1 crotchet per second, 60 beats a minute, which is quite steady. If you've got a clock near you, just have a look at how slow that is. Okay, now we are actually going to sing according to his tempo marking. He may have decided to do something different as a conductor, as this is right, but we're going to sing it at this slower tempo, and it becomes really very, very meditative, very contemplative, and very powerful indeed. So we come in at letter D basses, as I've already said, and we don't sing this beautiful melody. The sopranos get that all the way through, but we do have some extraordinarily nice lines to sing, not least in the Christe eleison in the middle. Now, of course, the Kyrie eleison and the Christe eleison are an essential part of the Mass. Lord, have mercy upon us. Christ, have mercy. Lord, have mercy. And so it's very important in a Mass to have these 3 statements. So we come in here and get a D minor chord just before we come in, and we are going to rehearse this at slightly faster than 60 beats a minute, because otherwise we'll be here all night, but we'll sing it through at the proper tempo. So the bar before you get this, which gives us our note at D. We come in mezzo forte dynamic, not too quiet. We sing Kyrie, Kyrie eleison, Kyrie eleison. So just listen to those notes a little faster. Back to letter D. 2, 3, leson, Kyrie eleison. Okay, let's sing that together at a faster tempo. I'd like the first Kyrie to be slightly rounded off at the end. Kyrie, lift, as if you're lifting your foot off a pedal, or for a piano pedal or something. Round it off and then sing into the next one. Kyrie, Kyrie eleison. And you can round that one off for me as well. Let's sing from D to there, please, basses. 2, 3. Kyrie, Kyrie eleison. And then we drop a tone. Okay, so it's Kyrie ele. I don't want there to be a harsh start to the eleison. I don't want Kyrie. Just run the 2 in together at that pitch basis. So the last 3 bars at the top of 19, it's Kyrie eleison. And just notice the diminuendo there to mezzo piano. So let's sing the last 3 bars, top of 19, please. 2, 3. Kyrie eleison. Fabulous. Now we will be singing that again at the end of the movement, but we move on to a new figure here. It's very, very lovely. Letter E. So have a listen to this. 2, 3. Kyrie eleison, Kyrie eleison. Okay, some really, really nice lines for the basses here. I think the trickiest thing for me when I was learning this and looking at it is where you put the various syllables of these words. So just have your pencil ready. Let's look at the first 4 bars from E. Ki, 2, 3, Rie, 2, Ele, 2, 3, Zon. And it's a liaison. I don't want it to be a liaison. It should be liaison. Okay? Think more L-E-H rather than L-A-Y. Liaison. I don't want the diphthong in there. All right, so let's sing that together from E. Note it's mezzo piano, so not too loud. 2, 3. Kyrie eleison. Lovely. Then you take a breath and we have a circle of fifths. Kyrie eleison. Okay, listen to that again. Okay, let's sing that together. Remember, this is all much faster than we'll be singing it with the recording. So the last 2 bars of 19. Ready, 2, 3. Kyrie eleison. Excellent. Ever so good. Well done. And remember, when it's slower, just make sure it's sustained. Don't crescendo too much, if any, really, from in 71. There will be a tendency to crescendo, but just let the pitch do that for you. You don't need to work hard. Just by rising in pitch, that will give the impression of getting louder, so you don't need to actually crescendo there. And then you've got a fraction of a second to grab a breath at the end of the second bar on page 20, and we sing a slightly truncated version of that. Kyrie eleison. Let's sing that together. The last 4 bars at the top of 20. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Kyrie eleison. Wonderful. Well done, basses. Have a quick sip of drink. How are we doing? Emma says it feels so old school using a real pencil on real paper now. We have got somewhat used, I think, to this this brave new digital world, which really just... Oh, that's interesting. I do feel very spoilt to have my entire school library with me on an iPad. And yes, I will confess to you, when using a paper score, particularly when I'm not thinking about what I'm doing, I'm just turning along and conducting, I have been known to tap the bottom of a paper score and be quite concerned the fact that the page hasn't changed before realising I need to actually turn it. Yes. So let's have a look now at letter F. So having sung that very, very slow, almost Mozartian actually in places, Kyrie, the Christe eleison is written after Palestrina. Now, of course, Palestrina is an essential composer, Giovanni Palestrina, of the Renaissance era, and he wrote a very famous mass based on the Armed Man, and also a very famous mass for Pape Marcelli for the Pope. Very, very important character. I could go on about him for hours. Do read up about him and listen to his beautiful, beautiful polyphonic music. But Sir Carl has written a piece or a little section here which it's not quite a pastiche, but in his style. So we move from this slow 3 here into a faster 4. Okay, so we, as I say, we've been singing slow 3, and we have a faster 4 which will feel more like 2 in a bar. So we'll sing Christe Okay, I should have taken a much, much deeper breath. Do stagger the breathing throughout this one. In fact, let's have a listen to the Fieri consort. I'll need to just skip through. Yeah, a bit more. So, 4 bars. So let's follow this bass line here. So this is letter F at the bottom of 20.
Christe
There we are. It's a lovely, lovely line. And yes, do take a huge breath at that pause at the top of 20 so we can get through it. Don't over sing, nice and gentle. But don't forget to smile as you sing this, okay, to keep it bright. Let's sing from F. 1, 2. Christe Fabulous. So just be careful there. Bars 4 and 5, a little bit tricky. Just again, because of these Renaissance cross rhythms. Looking at bar 4 after F. Okay, let's just sing that to lay. 1, 2. And note that little moment where the G repeats. That's a very typical Renaissance device. So just lift ever so slightly. Let's sing from Christe again, from F. 1, 2. Christe left hand didn't know what my right hand was doing. Let's just sing those last 2 bars of the phrase from the last bar of 20. I usually play with the right hand and click with the left. That's where I went wrong. 1, 2. Liaison. Excellent. There we are. Well done, basses. Now, we let the rest of the choirs, it's 2 tenor parts here. It's lovely. Any of you who fancy singing this, of course, I'm teaching this tomorrow afternoon. And second tenor, well, if you're a first bass, you'll like singing second tenor on this one. It's absolutely lovely. So now we come in at the top of 21, those last 2 bars, and we sing Christe eleison. Okay? Okay, you've got to let that note on lay go across the bar before we descend. Let's sing that together. Last bar of 21. 1, 2. Christe eleison. Lovely. Well done, basses. Now, the last bar of 21. How are we doing? Good, good, good. Okay, so now we sing Christe eleison. So here we actually rise above the level of tenor 2 to become like an inner part here, which is why we end up with that nice suspension at the end. So just listen to the notes there from the last bar of 21. 1, 2. Okay, so as we rise up towards the top of the stave and above it, keep it light, okay? Shouldn't be big and full of vibrato. Keep it lovely and smooth and floaty. So let's sing that together, basses, please. Last bar of 21. Those you singing along in the alto line or in that register, there's your note. But here we are, basses. 1, 2. Christe eleison. Very nice indeed. And we've got a few more of these beautiful phrases before we return to the Kyrie. So we have on page 22, bar 3 we don't sing, bar 4 we don't sing in the first half, we come in after the first beat, so it's 1, Christe eleison. So there we've got an F sharp, and then an F natural coming down. Okay, this is all because of this modality here. Again, I could go on forever, but the old-fashioned way of thinking about scales was not major and minor. Okay, so let's sing from the 4th bar of 22 after 1, 2, 1. Christe eleison. Very nice. And now we've got a gorgeous little run to the end. A Christe ele. Very, very melismatic here. From the bottom of page 22, bar 97. And you will need to stagger the breathing here, unless you have lungs of steel like the Fieri consort. Well, let's see how we do. So let's sing together from bar 97 it goes. And 1. Christe eleison. It's definitely an epic breathing job to be done there, but it's moving relatively slowly. So if you can grab a huge tank of air in the start of bar 97, I would also suggest, if you want to try and sing that last phrase in one breath, it is doable, is that you take an enormous breath at the top of 22. You see you've got a bar and a half with nothing to do except breathe. So fill up. Okay, imagine you're filling the tank of your car for a very long journey, and you've just got to pop down the road to the supermarket before. That's what that Christelle Liaison in 94, 95, 96. It's just a little trip, and then you top up just before that last long phrase. Let's look at the notes of that from 97. F sharp again, F naturals, and then we hold that G down to the D, and then we resolve back to the G. Let's sing that together. Take an enormous breath, and we're going to sing from 97. Ready? And 1. Almost made it to the end. So there we are, basses. Excellent job. So let's now look ahead and see what we've got. So to the end of the movement now, it's material we have sung before. It's this beautiful Kyrie. So if you notice at letter G, the sopranos have this achingly beautiful tune, which I just found this whole movement has been stuck in my head all throughout the last couple of days. Excuse me. Then we come in on the top of 24, and we sing from the third bar of 24. Kyrie eleison. Fantastic. And then we sing Kyrie eleison. Okay, so listen to that again. Bottom of 24, second bar, bar 117. Okay, let's sing together. Bar 117 basses. 2, 3. Kyrie eleison. Lovely. Remember, it's all mezzo piano, that page. Don't need to sing too loudly, which is helpful actually for getting through to the end of the phrase. And now, top of 25, we're back to where we first came in here. Kyrie eleison, Kyrie eleison. And there's a significant diminuendo there in that last bar, having been singing at mezzo forte, which is probably 6 or 7 or so out of 10 on the volume scale. You're going down to piano, which is a 3. It's a significant dynamic change. So do make sure you have circled that and do observe it when you record. So those pitches, we've sung those before. We're going to round off the first Kyrie and then sing into the air. Then we take a breath. And then we feather it by going down to piano. So let's sing that together from HP spaces. 2, 3. Kyrie, Kyrie eleison, Kyrie eleison. Lovely. Now we're at I, and again, this is all familiar material. Just be really careful of the dynamics here, folks. So it's mezzo piano. Kyrie eleison, Kyrie eleison. And that last bar before J. Bear in mind, we've sung that before, exactly in the same way, same words, same notes. But this time we've got a crescendo through that last bar up to J, and then that J we're at mezzo forte with me. Kyrie, Kyrie eleison, Kyrie eleison. And we pull back in dynamic again to mezzo piano, and we're on the last page here, everyone. Mezzo piano start. Kyrie eleison, Kyrie eleison. We've sung all that before, and of course by singing it again and again and again and again, it just gets absolutely lodged in the brain, and it becomes a meditation, which of course is part of the point. Now, this last 4 bars is a lovely way of wrapping it up. Kyrie eleison. Just that lovely circle of fifths, and slowing down to the last cadence. So let's sing those last 4 bars basses, then we'll sing the whole movement all the way. Ready, 2, 3. Kyrie eleison. Fabulous. Well done, basses. So do please hydrate yourselves. Hydration's very important. Cheers all. Excellent. Lovely to see everyone. Hello, Michael. Good to see you. People are talking about the Marx brothers. Okay. The Zeppo, Gummo. I think Mark. Oh, yes, I think Nikki said it. Mark should be one of them at least, because we have several Marks. I thought about changing my name to Mark at some point, but with it, Marque. You heard it first. So let's have the whole movement, okay, including the introduction, everything else, because it is beautiful. It's quite long, so you got about 4 minutes before you sing basses. Time to quickly dash and grab a drink. Here we go from the beginning. Absolutely lovely. Played on the organ, it reminds me of the Missa Brevis by Zoltan Kodály, which if you don't know, you really should listen to. This is now bar 14. Bar 20. Soprano. letter B. Letter C. Okay, bases. We've got 2 bars before we're in. Deep breath. Here we go. Deep breath. And one. Now we're at letter G. Deep breath. And There we are, basses. Very, very well done. Thank you for your company and your wonderful singing this evening. A beautiful, beautiful pair of movements there, and that last one in particular. You'll be surprised. You'll find yourself singing that a lot this weekend, and well, all to the good. Now, we do have an excellent week next week, basses, because we have to learn the fourth movement, which is not sung by the sopranos or altos, though I'm sure we're going to get many altos singing along with the tenor line. And then the Sanctus, which is gorgeous. So do look forward to that. I'll see you, of course, on Monday for the full choir rehearsal. But if you want to drop in and see us tomorrow, we will be with the altos and the tenors tomorrow afternoon. So have a look at the Universal link and come along and have a sing with us at that point. Otherwise, have a great Friday evening. I'm going to be back online in about an hour with my Mozart Around Sound course. Really looking forward to sharing tonight's session with all of you, those of you that have signed up. And if you haven't, you can still sign up and watch them. I'm rather proud of the course we've put together. So look forward to seeing some of you in an hour, some of you tomorrow, and the rest of you on Monday. So well done, folks. Have a good evening, and I'll see you soon. All the very best. Take care. Bye-bye.